Welcome to our Islamic channel where we explore timeless wisdom from the Quran and Hadith. In today's video, we delve into the profound lessons derived from Surah Yusuf, shedding light on how to navigate life's challenges with patience, trust in Allah, and resilience. In Surah Yusuf, we witness the remarkable story of Prophet Yusuf and the trials he faced, from betrayal by his own brothers to being unjustly imprisoned. Yet, through it all, Yusuf's unwavering faith in Allah's plan and his perseverance serve as an inspiration for believers facing adversity in their own lives. Surah Yusuf, also known as Chapter 12 of the Quran, is a narrative-rich surah that recounts the story of Prophet Yusuf. It is one of the most detailed and captivating narratives in the Quran, comprising 111 verses. Here is a brief summary of Surah Yusuf. The surah begins with a declaration of the Quran's authority and the assurance that it contains clear signs for those who seek guidance. The story of Prophet Yusuf begins with a dream he narrates to his father, Prophet Yaqub, about the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowing down to him. This dream is interpreted as a sign of Yusuf's future greatness, which provokes the jealousy of his brothers. Yusuf's brothers conspire against him and plot to get rid of him by throwing him into a well. They then deceive their father into believing that Yusuf has been devoured by a wolf. However, Yusuf is rescued from the well and eventually sold into slavery in Egypt. In Egypt, Yusuf is purchased by a nobleman named Al-Aziz and rises to prominence in his household due to his righteousness and integrity. However, Yusuf faces temptation when the wife of Al-Aziz attempts to seduce him. Despite her advances, Yusuf remains steadfast in his faith and refuses to betray his master or commit sin. Falsely accused of wrongdoing, Yusuf is imprisoned, where he demonstrates his ability to interpret dreams. He correctly interprets the dreams of two fellow prisoners, one of whom is released and the other executed. Later, when the king of Egypt is troubled by a recurring dream, the former prisoner remembers Yusuf's talent and recommends him to interpret the dream. Yusuf's interpretation of the king's dream leads to his release from prison and his appointment as a high-ranking official in Egypt. He is entrusted with managing the country's resources during a time of famine, which brings his brothers to Egypt seeking food. Yusuf recognizes his brothers but conceals his identity from them. Over time, Yusuf's brothers come to realize their mistake and seek his forgiveness. Yusuf reveals his identity to them and forgives them, emphasizing that their actions were part of Allah's plan for him. He urges them to return to their father and bring the entire family to settle in Egypt. Here are the top 5 lessons we can learn from Surah Yusuf. Patience and perseverance. Patience and perseverance are central themes in Surah Yusuf, exemplified through the life of Prophet Yusuf. The surah vividly illustrates how patience and perseverance enable individuals to navigate through challenges, maintain faith in times of adversity, and ultimately achieve success. Here's a detailed discussion on patience and perseverance as depicted in Surah Yusuf. Endurance in trials. Prophet Yusuf's life is marked by numerous trials and hardships, beginning with the jealousy and betrayal of his brothers. Despite being thrown into a well and sold into slavery, Yusuf demonstrates remarkable endurance and resilience. He does not lose hope or succumb to despair, but instead trusts in Allah's plan and remains steadfast in his faith. Persistence in pursuit of righteousness. Yusuf's commitment to righteousness is unwavering, even in the most difficult circumstances. When faced with temptation by the wife of Al-Aziz, Yusuf chooses to flee from sin and uphold his moral integrity, despite the consequences. His persistence in pursuing righteousness, even when faced with adversity, demonstrates the importance of remaining steadfast in one's values and principles. Trust in Allah's plan. Trust in Allah's plan is a fundamental theme in Surah Yusuf, highlighting the importance of relying on Allah's wisdom, guidance, and timing in all aspects of life. The story of Prophet Yusuf serves as a powerful example of how trust in Allah's plan enables individuals to navigate through challenges, endure hardship, and ultimately find solace and success. Here's a detailed discussion on trust in Allah's plan, as depicted in Surah Yusuf. Recognition of divine wisdom. Yusuf's trust in Allah's plan is rooted in his recognition of Allah's infinite wisdom and knowledge. He understands that Allah is the all-knowing and all-wise, and that His plan is perfect and just. Yusuf's trust in Allah's wisdom allows him to see beyond the immediate difficulties and setbacks, knowing that Allah's plan encompasses a greater good that may not be immediately apparent. Hope and optimism. Despite the challenges he faces, Yusuf maintains hope and optimism in Allah's mercy and guidance. He trusts that Allah will eventually bring about relief and deliverance, even in the darkest of times. Yusuf's hope and optimism stem from his unwavering belief in Allah's benevolence and his confidence in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness. Forgiveness and compassion. Forgiveness and compassion are profound themes in Surah Yusuf, illustrating the transformative power of forgiveness and the virtue of compassion in overcoming resentment and fostering reconciliation. The surah showcases how forgiveness and compassion can heal wounds, mend relationships, and bring about inner peace. Here's a detailed discussion on forgiveness and compassion, as depicted in Surah Yusuf. Forgiveness amidst betrayal. Surah Yusuf begins with the betrayal of Prophet Yusuf by his own brothers, who plot to kill him out of jealousy and then deceive their father into believing that Yusuf has been devoured by a wolf. Despite the immense betrayal and injustice he suffers at the hands of his brothers, Yusuf later forgives them when they seek his forgiveness. His act of forgiveness demonstrates his capacity to let go of resentment and extend mercy, even to those who have wronged him deeply. Reconciliation and healing. Yusuf's forgiveness towards his brothers leads to reconciliation and healing within his family. When his brothers come to Egypt seeking food during the famine, Yusuf conceals his identity from them initially, but eventually reveals himself to them. He reassures them of his forgiveness and invites them to settle in Egypt with their family. Through Yusuf's forgiveness, the rift in his family is healed. Resisting temptation. Resisting temptation is a significant theme in Surah Yusuf, where Prophet Yusuf, Joseph, is faced with the temptation of the wife of Al-Aziz. The surah provides profound insights into the challenges of resisting temptation and the importance of upholding moral integrity. Here's a detailed discussion on resisting temptation, as depicted in Surah Yusuf. Moral integrity. Surah Yusuf highlights the importance of maintaining moral integrity and upholding ethical principles, even in the face of temptation. When Yusuf is approached by the wife of Al-Aziz and invited to commit sin, he firmly rejects her advances, refusing to betray his values or compromise his integrity. His unwavering commitment to righteousness serves as a powerful example of the importance of adhering to moral principles in the face of temptation. Spiritual strength. Yusuf's ability to resist temptation is a testament to his spiritual strength and resilience. Despite the allure of worldly desires and the pressure exerted by the wife of Al-Aziz, Yusuf remains steadfast in his faith and resolute in his determination to avoid sin. His strength of character enables him to overcome temptation and stay true to his principles, demonstrating the power of spiritual resilience in resisting temptation. Divine providence and predestination. Divine providence and predestination are significant theological concepts depicted in Surah Yusuf, highlighting the belief in Allah's ultimate control over all affairs and His divine plan for His creation. The story of Prophet Yusuf serves as a powerful illustration of how divine providence and predestination shape the events of his life and guide him towards his ultimate destiny. Here's a detailed discussion on divine providence and predestination as depicted in Surah Yusuf. Fulfillment of prophecy. The story of Yusuf begins with his dream, in which he sees the sun, the moon, and 11 stars prostrating to him. This dream is interpreted as a prophecy of Yusuf's future greatness and serves as a foreshadowing of the events that will unfold in his life. Surah Yusuf illustrates how Allah's divine plan encompasses the fulfillment of prophecy and the realization of his decrees in the lives of his prophets and righteous servants. Guidance through trials. Throughout Surah Yusuf, we see how Yusuf's trials and tribulations are part of Allah's divine plan to shape his character and fulfill his destiny. Despite the hardships he faces, Yusuf maintains trust in Allah's wisdom and guidance, knowing that every trial is a test of his faith and a means of spiritual growth. His unwavering faith in Allah's providence enables him to endure hardship with patience and fortitude, confident that Allah's plan will ultimately lead to his success. In summary, Surah Yusuf offers valuable insights into the themes of patience, trust in Allah, forgiveness, moral integrity, and divine providence. The story of Prophet Yusuf serves as a source of inspiration and guidance for believers, encouraging them to persevere through trials, trust in Allah's wisdom, show compassion towards others, resist temptation, and surrender to Allah's decree with patience and humility. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content on Islam and spirituality.